Hello. Today our focus is centralizing around CSS, and CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. Now, with Cascading Style Sheet (CSS), what is it really about? Cascading Style Sheet (CSS) is used to format the layout of a web page. So you would use your HTML language to put your web page together. However, it is the CSS that brings some amount of life and styling to it. Now, there are three types of CSS, as mentioned before. They are the inline CSS, they are the internal CSS, and there is the external CSS. Now, for today, we'll be focusing on the internal CSS. Now, just to talk about internal CSS a bit before we actually look into an example of internal CSS. An internal CSS is used to define a style for a single HTML page. Now, what is that saying really? You would know if you're creating a website, most often you would use more than one pages. Now, for for that case, you would have an internal CSS on each of those individual page. So if your website consists of 4 pages, you would have 4 internal CSS. Simply mean that the CSS will be on each of those individual page. To bring further understanding to internal CSS, an internal CSS is defined in the head tag section of the HTML page within a style tag element. And what is that saying really? Look at this. Here we have our head tag, and here we have our style inside of our head tag. So the area that I highlighted just now is where you would place your internal CSS, your internal styling, and that is inside of the head tag where you will have it within the style tag as well. Now, with that said, yes, so like you're seeing, where we have highlighted, as I mentioned earlier, is where we have our internal CSS embedded. But let's take it out a bit and raw, look at the raw HTML code. Alright, so you'll be familiar with this code already. And I am just going to run that code to see what it looks like. So what you're seeing now is our raw HTML code before the internal CSS is embedded in this page. So here you see our H1 heading, and we have our paragraph as well. And you see the background, which is just regular. There is no background color anything applied to it as yet. So that's how it looks without your CSS in it. So I'm going to just place back, place back our style inside of that code and look at the style in specific detail. Now, as you realize that we have a body tag here. Alright, so in our style sheet, we call the body tag, and we're saying that we want the background color of the body tag to be powder blue. And please note how it is done. You have the body, open bracket, and we're calling for the background color, colon, and then you have the color that you want to use, and then the syntax, which is to close it back here with a end it with a semicolon, and we close our curly bracket. So this is simply saying that we are giving a color to our background. So I'm going to remove that as well and show what we're talking about. So there you go. There is our powder blue added to the background, and that is done within our style tag right here. Now we also and now we also have our H1 tag. And this is our H1. And for H1 tag, we are saying we're creating a header to say this is a heading like you're seeing here. Now, we're saying that we want to add some color to this text. This is a heading. So we move inside our style here, right here, and we specifically call each one and our open curly bracket again, and we say color, colon, so therefore we are calling what we give our text a color at this time. Not a background color, but a text color at this time. So we have color, colon, and we want to give it the color blue. And we have our semicolon and our curly bracket. So let's see what it looks like. So there you go. This is a heading is now in color blue. We also use our paragraph tag. So let's add some styling to it as well. So simply we call the P for right here, and we're seeing we're going to add a color to it. We have P, open curly bracket, color, text color again, colon, and we want to give it a color of red. And we have our semicolon and our curly bracket. So let's just look at it. And there you go. You see where it changed to the color red. So all of this here indicates your internal CSS. That's why, as mentioned earlier, that they would go if you're using 4 web pages, you're creating 4 pages, you will, and you're using internal CSS, you will need 4 sections like these in those individual pages, going on individual page, right? So that is it as it relates to internal CSS. And like mentioned earlier, there are 3 types of CSS. You have your internal CSS, your inline CSS, and you have your external CSS. In future videos, we will look at those other 2 types of CSS.